Good evening, everyone. I hope you are well this evening. Thank you very much for joining me. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about SuneKOS this evening, so I'm very excited. Those of you who know me know I'm absolutely obsessed with this product. So yeah, you know, a lot of my training that I do and the webinars that I don't like to make them branding orientated, but it is very difficult when you have a product that you know and love that is just working fantastically. So I'm here to talk to you. I've got a couple of webinars lined up with the guys at MedFX. Tonight, we're just going to be kind of covering SuneKOS as a whole. So how I utilize it as a skin solution for my clients, get you thinking about how you can utilize it with other products and other procedures that you might already do as well. So do obviously pop into the chat what it is that you do, what's brought you here this evening. I'm always good. It's always good to meet new people and understand what it is that you want to get out of this evening as well. Hopefully you're going to get something out of it. For me, it was a bit of an epiphany when I was actually marketing and utilizing SuneKOS in my clinic on how I started to get my clients to think about it. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a journey for you this evening. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it as we go along. So I'm here on behalf of MedFX this evening to talk to you about the product that is SuneKOS. So please do share on social media that you are watching this evening, how you found it, if you've enjoyed it, what you liked, what you didn't like, and please do feed that back to me because I'm always interested in learning how I can improve for you guys as well. So without further ado, let's just move on for you. So I've tried to be a little bit clever. It's a bit difficult this time of night when you've had a long day in clinic, but as you can see down the left-hand side or your right-hand side, whichever side it is that you have, I've got the SuneKOS and we've just kind of gone through some of the first letters. As you'll see as I've gone along, you might not have even noticed it if I didn't tell you. But tonight, the plan is we're going to level up your approach to skin and aesthetics with a product like SuneKOS. You may already have your training. You may be looking at doing the training. You may already be doing it and doing it really well. So I'd love to kind of hear what it is that you're up to and if you're liking the product. I always say to anybody that's trained with me or training with me, usually they obviously, if they haven't trained with me initially and they're coming back for the advanced training or whatever it is, have you had your wow picture from SuneKOS yet? So that's my first question that I ask. The reason being is obviously, you know, we are treating people individually, and you'll have some clients who it works with quite well. You'll have some, you may have a little bit of disappointment with it. And there's a reason for that. That's what we're going to cover this evening as well. But on the whole, the vast majority of time when I'm utilizing this product, I get those wow moments. And that's what I want to share with you. If you're not getting them, let's try and understand and dig deep why we might not be as well. We're going to refresh and revise on the anatomy of skin. As always, it always starts here, and it's very, very relevant when we're talking about a product like this. I see a lot on the forums, because I do have a little nosy every now and again, and people tag me in about, you know, utilizing SuneKOS for the wrong reasons, you know, using it instead of a filler. So that's something that I really want to bottom out at the end, by the end of this evening, or at least over the next session as well. Can you create a business for SuneKOS? Yes, you can, because I physically have. You know, the vast majority of treatments that I do now, even though I do the, you know, aesthetic procedures and dermal fillers, Botox and advanced procedures, SuneKOS is one of the biggest that I do, the biggest that I offer. So we'll chat about that this evening as well. So we're going to understand the implications and the indications of SuneKOS as a skin booster: how, what, where, and why. I also want you to try and discover a little bit more confidence in your treatment options and product choices as well. So there are other things available within the SuneKOS family. So I want to get you thinking about that, because when, hopefully you join me on the next webinar, when we're treating SuneKOS as a business package, it will start to make a little bit more sense. A bit of repetition, but that's always good. And again, implementing that SuneKOS business approach to level up your clients' options and your options, and just to spice up your day list, your variety, your clinic day, anything, just that little bit as well to make a difference there. So SuneKOS, what I want you to do by the end of this is appreciate the science a little bit more, and help allowing our clients to appreciate the science as well. So what we understand, obviously, we've got the weather that we have right now in front of us, and the damage that that's going to be doing to our skin. And that is something that I really want to home in with your clients when we're talking about any aesthetic procedure, the what, where's, and why. So why are we treating this condition? Why is the skin aged? How has that happened? Are we starting with appreciating the science of skin and how that damage has caused that problem? Because that's where we need to start, in terms of my opinion. The E is I want to get you excited about this innovation. So Sun E, you see what I'm doing there, right? I want to get you guys on board with it. And if you're not, tell me why. And I want to help you improve your techniques. You know, not that I'm doing everything right all the time. That's not why I'm here. But I have learned things along the way when I've utilized this product. So I really want you to get excited. I want you to have that wow moment. I want your clients to come back and say, oh my goodness, like, this is the best my skin has ever been. Because I love those days and those conversations. And that's what I want you guys to have as well. And why? Because we can. I couldn't think of anything else, guys. So that's why that one was in there. Because we have an amazing product in front of us that will make a big difference to a lot of clients' lives who don't want, you know, that frozen look. They don't want dermal fillers because of the, you know, the bad media that is around them ultimately as well. We've seen this, we read this, so do our clients. So we can offer a product that removes all of these things, and can install confidence with a skin booster, and one that we can trust in as well. So who am I? My name is Annette Matthews. My background, I am a dental therapist, dental hygienist. So before that, I was actually a dental nurse, and then I went on to uni to become a clinician, a dental therapist, dental hygienist, which I absolutely love. But I've had to knock it down a few hours now. So I'm only doing 1 to 1.5 days a month at the moment. And I mainly do my aesthetic procedures, cosmetic procedures like composite bonding and whitening, all the fun stuff. So I'm in quite a good position right now. It's what I like to do. And then on top of that, I have my own skin clinic in Wirksworth, Derbyshire. And I was lucky enough, goodness knows how, but the guys over at MedFX picked me up for training on behalf of SuneKOS. So the last 3 to 5 years has been a bit of a whirlwind, as it has for most of us the last 2. But yeah, it's been a really, really interesting, informative and fantastic journey. So I'm not here because I know everything. I'm here because I want to help you with a product and help your clients with these products and these treatment options as well. This is just me showing off now. So I've just found out that I'm a finalist in the Aesthetic Dentistry Awards for 2 categories, and one of which was skin rejuvenation. Guess which product I used? Yes, that's right. I used SuneKOS. So that is, again, why I'm so excited to be telling you guys about it. I was just before I started the webinar, I was frantically looking for the pictures that I've entered for this, and I've lost the plug into my external hard drive, so I couldn't get it up for you guys, so you'll have to wait and see. It will be on social media shortly, hopefully, fingers crossed, if it all goes well. So yeah, you know, I wouldn't be a finalist if it wasn't for this product. So here we go. I've entered it for skin rejuvenation. I utilised their peel and I utilised the skin boosters, both the 12 and the 200, and got an absolutely phenomenal result. And hence, obviously, really, really honoured to have that position at the moment. So let's start this evening then. So S, as always, we're going to start with skin. So it's a little bit of a complex organ that's going on here, and hopefully we know a little bit about it, or a little bit more about it. And, you know, every day is a school day. We should always look to continually develop our professional skills, our knowledge, our mindset behind skin, and things change massively. But what we do know is that the skin has its own little science experiment going on ultimately. And what these guys have done with their product is dissected that pretty much and worked out what we need to do to improve the condition of the skin. So when you are thinking about offering treatments, and again, even training, if you're new to aesthetics, we all, and we have, and we do start on injectables a lot of the time, and this is a bit of a pet hate of mine, even though that's what I did, and that's fine, it worked for me, and obviously I went a little bit backwards and back to front, but predominantly my one word advice is to always start with the foundations and start with the skin. So that will start with prevention, that very first slide that I talked about, sunshine and the damage that's happening to the skin. So let's get the client compliant and thinking about how, what, where and why. Remember what I said about some of those cases that you don't get that wow moment from. There is more than likely something underlying in terms of lifestyle that's made that difference. And that's really important to work out in the early stages. You can do this with a formal skin analysis. You can do this by, you know, educating the client to the changes that are potentially needing to make to improve the condition of their skin as well. I bet if you ask the question, you know, hopefully most of you are really good at getting your clients on board with SPF, but usually it's, oh, I've not got it on today, it's raining. That's the answer that I get. You know, it's the answer I get from at home from everyone that lives with me as well, even though it's out there and it's on the side. So ultimately it is down to that skin education, and for us to help educate our clients and their friends and family as well. The next thing I want you to think about is the client concerns. So what they're going to come in concerned about. It's an awkward moment, but I like to obviously give the client a mirror so they can, and you already do this already, so you give them a mirror, you get them to tell you their concerns. They have that moment. I don't know about you guys. So tell me what it is that bothers you. Everything. It's this, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. And I'm like, right, okay. So I obviously, first and foremost, try and reassure them, you know, of their positive points, you know, assessing their mental aptitude and things like that, as we should be doing as clinicians. But what if I told you, okay, that's fine, but, you know, this is their budget, so that's another thing that comes into consideration. But what about a product that would affect all of those areas if we utilize it properly? So they might have come wanting something like dermal filler because they've got midface volume loss, which is fine. That's what you need filler for. When you have, you know, a severe deviance and loss of volume in the midface, you may potentially need a product like filler. But let's look at the whole of the skin tone, the whole of everything going on. What product and or budget of products would give us the best result? The skin is the largest organ on the human body. So why don't we start with the skin? That's the first thing that I say to my clients. Oh, I know, but I want this and this. And I'm like, okay, you know, I have that conversation. We try and work out and and allow them to make that informed decision on the options that they have in front of them. But I always try and promote the skin, and there's a reason for that, as you see as we go along throughout this evening as well. Really, really important to help improve. The reason being is if we actually fix the foundations and the fundamentals, so why the skin has gone wrong in the first place, we naturally age, there's nothing we can do about that. How we thought about the other factors, are there things that they are doing with their lifestyle intrinsically that are making a difference? You know, hormones, you know, a lot of clients that come to see me are pre and or post menopausal, so their skin has gone through a really, really rough time and a big change. They naturally come in wanting fillers and Botox. It's down to us to have that conversation with them about fixing the foundations, improving the skin. And then just think, once we've done that and we've fixed the foundations, we've improved the skin, we've improved that canvas, that initial canvas that we have, you imagine the results that we can get with our artistic flair, with the likes of dermal filler, and obviously your botulinum toxin if you are eliminating those static lines as well. So this is where I really want you to get you thinking outside the box and help your clients see that. They think I've lost the plot when I refer to facial aesthetics as either a fish tank or a house, but sometimes it's that analogy that will really get them to understand and think about the investment that they're making. So they're going to obviously move on to inject with a product. You know, I know some, you know, fillers do have a skin boosting ability, but not one like the likes of the innovation that we're talking about this evening. So that's where it differs. So this is when it's important that we get them to understand. You see what I've done here with the S and the U. Hopefully you're with me. There's a lot of effort thinking about words that were appropriate. So U is for understanding. So we're really getting them to understand just how that product works. And we can only do that if we understand it 100% ourselves. I still have moments where I look at this and think, a light bulb moment. Maybe I can explain it like that. You've got to find your little spiel that works for you, that works for your clients, and there's no one size fits all. You'll have your adamant clients that will come in, you know, with an idea of what they want and what their friends had and X, Y, and Z. But it's down to us to help them understand the products that they have in front of them. So how can we do that? It's important for them and us to understand it for a start. I don't know why, but he always seems to feature in some of my webinars. I think it's like a weird childhood obsession. I did love those films. I'll probably have to watch them again during the summer or when it starts to rain next time. This is Doc from Back to the Future. That's what I feel like when I don't have hair extensions in, true story. But it's very, very important that we get them to understand, and we understand the product that we have in front of us as well. On my training sessions, I always get my delegates to just practice the spiel in front of me and or on their own, write a bit of an assignment about it. So tell me about SuneKOS. You know, if you're posting on social media, the actual name SuneKOS doesn't really say what it is. So that's why it's important that we obviously provide a skin solution like SuneKOS. And that's something that I call it all the time: skin fuel, skin solution, you know, collagen booster, elastin booster, collagen and elastin booster, the ultimate skin fuel. All these things that will kind of ring the right bells for your clients and really get them on board with it. We understand the aging process. That's why we are here. I don't want to sit here and teach you to suck eggs. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to resonate this on all levels, because I know there's people coming from lots of different backgrounds, you know, from the MedFX community. So as we age, we know the skin is naturally going to denature. We know we are producing less collagen and elastin, and there are other contributing factors to that. The likes of hormones, which we've already discussed, medication can make a difference, and obviously genetics, as we know, and illness and other intrinsic factors too. So this comes about by a depletion of a fibroblast. So we're going to be chatting about cells a little bit towards the end of the webinar as well. So a fibroblast, which makes collagen and elastin, will become tired as we age, and obviously damage can happen to that fibroblast. So what we're looking for is a product that ultimately will get all things going, including the fibroblast. We want food for that fibroblast, we want food for our collagen, we want food for our elastin. And we also want some hydration as well, because as you know, as we age, that matrix underneath the skin, which we're going to come on to in a moment, is denatured, and there's reason for that we can actually help with. So we're going to cover the extracellular matrix in a little bit more detail in a moment. Remember, we are still on, what letter are we on? you for understanding. So actions required for the skin to function properly is good hydration. We know this already. Here I am with my water bottle. But from a systemic point of view, it's very, very important that we keep hydrated and we educate our clients of that. But hyaluronic acid is found within our skin, within our bodies, as a naturally occurring substance. But we need it. We need it for the matrix of the skin and other organs and everything else that we have going on to function properly. We also need specific amino acids within the skin that are going to help promote what I've just mentioned, the fibroblasts, that collagen, and the elastin production as well. Only certain, you can see in the bottom there, only certain and specific amino acids with a special and specific combination can actually stimulate this process. And guess what? This is what we're talking about this evening. So when people ask me, how is this product different to others? Do you know, I think it's important for me to point out at this point as well, like, I'm here because I'm passionate about this product and the results that I've had. I'm not here because these guys have paid me to do it. That's the God's honest truth. I'm here because I'm getting the results from the product. So I always want to kind of point that out, because again, I preach about not being a brand orientated trainer. Very difficult when you've got a product that you absolutely know and love as well. But yeah, here we are. So only certain amino acids with a specific combination can actually stimulate this process. So again, you know, clients will come to you and they'll have heard of other brands and other skin boosters and other things. How is this one different? You know, if you've not trained in this yet, that may be what's holding you back. But I can assure you now, from the research that I've done, and again, I don't know everything, but from what I've done, what I know, this is the most innovative product that is out there. So this is where we move on to N. And N is for that next level innovation. We know how fast this industry moves. It's ridiculous. My background is dentistry, and that's just as fast. You know, we're probably on par. In fact, probably aesthetics is that little bit faster. It's constantly changing. There are constantly new products, new innovations, and new things coming in. But what the clever people tend to do, once they have a really good product that works, they'll then patent it. And that's exactly what these guys have done. So we've got this next level innovation that's come about. And what's happening with it is we are, you know, some people say, well, is it mesotherapy? You know, in a way, yes, it is, because we are getting that product into the dermis, mid to deep dermis. So we are injecting it. It's an injectable. There are two types of it as well, which we're going to come on to. And we are reliant on the product for what's in it, the ingredients within it, the amino acids and the hyaluronic acid. They're very important. The other very important part is the mechanical stress that we're creating from the injection points. So let's flip back to A-level biology, back to university, where we went and we learned all these things, and it just kind of blew our minds a little bit. But what we are responsible for is that controlled damage, that injury to the skin. And we all know what happens at that point once we injure the skin. It's going to come up, it's going to start to repair, and then we're utilizing that product that we've injected in there as well. So, you know, it might put a few clients off that there are injections and injection points that they have to have, but it's important. Again, we're back to understanding, we're back to getting our client to understand that in order to get results, sometimes we have to break a few eggs as we understand to get the results that we want. So these specialized amino acids are going to help protein synthesis. So they proliferate collagen and elastin, and they create new junior fibroblasts. So those fibroblasts that go around creating collagen and elastin, they work with that as well. So we have a 6 amino acid formula, which I am going to come on to, I think, on one of the other slides. And the physiological, so that improvement of the extracellular matrix, which again, we're going to talk about in a moment, is achieved by these components. So by more and increased hyaluronic acid volume, and these amino acid, these 6 complex amino acids that are now patented with the guys at SuneKOS. As it says there, the one and only proven and patented amino acid mixture to maximally produce collagen and elastin. And of course, these new fibroblasts. These components together, coupled with the injections and the actual process, are what are going to help restore the homeostasis so that everything functioning properly within the extracellular matrix of the skin. So is it just another skin booster? E is for extra. We all like a little bit extra. I know what I do. But what we're talking about is the epidermis and the extracellular matrix. So this is where Annette starts to talk about a fish tank. I wish it was my analogy. It isn't. This is from the lovely trainer Shirley up in Glasgow. So if you are obviously Scotland based, remember we do have trainers elsewhere as well. So Shirley, it was quite a funny moment when she described SuneKOS to me as a fish tank, because I was thinking, yep, she's lost the plot, as people do when I start to do the same. But if you imagine the extracellular matrix, so within the dermis, we've got a bit of a fish tank going on. In that fish tank, you've got your plants and you've got your fish. So your plants are your collagen and your elastin fibers. Your fish are the fibroblasts. If you put fuel in there just for the fish, what's going to happen to the plants? They're not going to function as they should. The tank, the hydration, the water in the tank, or the hyaluronic acid in the tank is going to denature as well. So we need to top up the water. We've got to feed the fish and we've got to feed the plants. That analogy I absolutely love, and I use it all the time to explain this product to my clients as well. I've always said, I have got my own clinic at the moment, but if I ever expand and get a bigger one, I'd love to have a huge fish tank in the middle, because then I can use that to explain as well. So it's a great analogy to help your clients understand what's going on underneath, and how, you know, the choice of products and procedures that you put in front of them, how starting with the skin and the fundamentals and the foundations, and building the foundations for any of the products that we think about afterwards, is always going to give us that optimum result. And sometimes you will do just a skin boosting and perhaps some other collagen therapy alongside, and then you will win them over with that, and you will not have to do any of the other injectables that they potentially came in for initially. That's what I'm finding is happening more and more. And it is dependent on obviously the age group of the client that's coming in, of course, as well. So going a little extracellular, as you can see here, that dermis that we're talking about, that lower part, what is going on underneath in that juicy part. So the extracellular matrix and it functioning properly is critical for all tissues. So interestingly enough, around 70% of human diseases are caused by the extracellular matrix, that juicy part of the bottom, not functioning as it should. So it's dysregulated. It's not functioning as it should. For the skin, one of the effects of that loss of homeostasis is skin aging. And the main reasons are what we've discussed already, that reduction in the number and activity of fibroblasts, those little fibroblasts that go around creating collagen and elastin. So when we see less of them and or they're not as active, then we are going to see less collagen and elastin, as you can see pictured here. We also lose hydration. That's a naturally occurring process, but there are things that we can do to help, increase hydration. We have other products that have hyaluronic acid in, and, we can consider that, and or home care makes a huge difference from my opinion as well, depending on the molecular weight of it and whether it's medical grade or not, okay? So extracellular matrix targeting formula. So here you can see to the left, you've got your specific amino acids. So you've got the top three, which are the amino acids of collagen in the perfect amount. You've got your next two down, which are the amino acids of elastin. So they're the ones that help proliferate elastin. And then you've got your synthetic amino acid, which is your stimulation for your fibroblast ultimately. And then we have our HA. So again, you'll have clients that will say, okay, okay, you're winning me over. I'm on board with SuneKOS. Okay, but how is it different to filler? So what I tend to say at this point is, filler has its merits and its day. It is a fantastic product, and there are some superb results that we can get with dermal filler alone. That's all I used to use until about 4 years ago, and it did the job. But what I'm finding now is if I'm getting the skin in better condition first when I apply dermal filler, the results that I'm getting are even better, and the longevity is better, dare I say, as well. So how it differs from a patient's perspective is it's a more natural skin boosting rejuvenation treatment. That's how I tend to refer to it: regeneration and rejuvenation. So we're actually fueling the skin. We're getting the skin to fix itself. I talk and I get them and I help them to understand the denaturing of the skin and how it's occurred. And then I help them with the science about how the product is actually going to help them moving forward as well. So it's going to stimulate the fibroblasts to produce these components of collagen, elastin, and fibroblasts and hydration. And it's going to regenerate these new young fibroblasts. in effect, to create a complete mix of collagen, all the types of collagen that we need to improve the skin tone, the skin tenacity. And that is something hugely that's made a difference that my clients. So obviously with filler, we can of course improve, facial volume loss, but we are still potentially left from experience with that turgor of the skin, not 100%. So that's why if I implement this first, I'm always happier, as are they, with the results. So K is for knowledge. That Annette spelt wrong that she's just seen on the slide. So who else spotted that? I know I did. Atypical. K is for knowledge. Sorry about that, guys. I've been in clinic today and I've literally just literally put the subtitles through this together today. So my apologies. Does this product really work? Is Annette just telling me that it works? No, we actually have some studies behind it as well, of course. So we've got our in vitro studies proven to promote the collagen and elastin synthesis from the products that we have, this 6 amino acid complex. There are other products out there, but none of them contain the 6 platform and these amino acids with the action that they do. So I know I'm probably going to get lots of questions about alternative products towards the end, and that's fine. I'll do my best to answer them as well. So knowledge, that Annette spelt wrong. Knowledge is power. Remember that. We empower our patient to help them make that informed decision by putting all the options in front of them and helping them understand just how a skin booster works and understand how dermal fillers work. The problem that you have, but it's not so much a problem, but it's the mainstream media and what they understand and what friends have had. If a friend's had amazing results with filler, that's great, but it's getting them to understand what's right for their skin and helping them to understand that, of course, as well. So amino acids, we should know enough about these to get by, but it's always important to kind of, encourage continual learning with things like this as well. And when it comes to the human body, we need around 20 different amino acids to grow and function properly. Of those 20 amino acids, 9 of them are essential amino acids, and all amino acids are required for body growth. Since the essential amino acids cannot be synthesized within the body, they have to be provided from outside. So that can be from diet, from supplements and other things as well. So that's really important to note. But what we do know is that the products that we have in front of us is going to help proliferate those amino acids that we need and encourage that regular production of moving forward as well. So I didn't put it in the last slide actually, but one of the studies that we have proves that this product after 6 to 9 months was still effective and it was still producing that collagen and elastin production. So again, that is another UPS, unique USP even, unique selling point of the product that you can help engage and encourage your client with as well. So the longevity is there and it's continually improving their skin whilst they have it in there as well. So prevention is key. Sorry about the quality of this. I think it's just kind of as it's spread across the screen there, but prevention is so important when we're talking to our clients as well. Remember what I said right at the beginning, that sometimes you have those wow results and sometimes you have those that are just, there will be something that you maybe haven't quite picked up on in that consultation phase when you're talking to them. So that's why starting with the skin, their regime, have they got preventative measures? What is it that they're doing with their skin that could be impacting it? Or is there something going intrinsically that could be impacting it as well? So we have 2 ranges of SuneKOS. We have SuneKOS 200 and we have SuneKOS 1200. What's the difference? The predominant difference is the molecular weight of the hyaluronic acid. So it's the same amino acid formula, so same 6 amino acids that you have, that we've learned about already this evening, but it's the weight of the hyaluronic acid. If you imagine the higher weight, so the 1200 weight SuneKOS is going to be the one that we go to for the severe skin damage, so the more severe cases where we have more toxins that are present underneath the skin. So hyaluronic acid acts as a free radical scavenger. It's going to go in and help munch away at some of those toxins and free radicals that are, or most of those toxins and free radicals that are underneath the skin. So SuneKOS 1200 is there for those severe skin damage cases and or those that just need that extra, not a lift, because we're not producing volume with it, we're not replacing volume that we've never had, but we're improving the skin tone, the hydration, the texture and the turgor, and the elastin levels and the collagen levels. That's really important that you take this away from today. You know, I see some people that post on forums and utilize the SuneKOS as a filler. That's not what this is. This is a high weight hyaluronic acid. So if you have obviously the severe skin damage, that's your 1200 that you would turn to. The 1200 works in collaboration with the 200. So you would place the 1200 initially, and then you pepper the 200 on top, depending on your technique and your area. I've done a case today. Again, I've not uploaded the picture because I'm useless, but it was perioral lines, smokers lines, elderly lady. She didn't want filler. So obviously I knew that we could get her on board with something like SuneKOS and educate her to, you know, to make an informed decision. And we went with 1200 and the 200. I actually utilized a 1200 vial on each side because the damage was that severe. I'm very looking forward to seeing her in about 10 to 14 days time, because that's when the pictures will be that wow moment as well. So you can utilize SuneKOS in so many ways. And yes, we do have our protocols and our training, but after 4 or 5 years of using this product, again, there are ways that we can really, you know, implement for an outstanding and amazing result. So O is for it being one of a kind. And again, this is where maybe some of the questions that are going to come to the fruition at the end are, you know, how is this different to X, Y, and Z? I'm not here, you know, you will never ever get me slating another product. If it's something that I don't use, I simply won't have an opinion on it. And that's the truth. I have utilized and used other boosters in the past, but the one for me is the one that I'm talking about this evening. The one for my clients is the one that I'm talking about this evening. What makes it a one of a kind is, again, obviously they've got this formula, they know it works, we've got the proof that it works and the research behind it working, and then they've patented it and locked it away for nobody else. Even I don't know, we know what's in it, but we don't know how much. So it is one of a kind. And here we are. So that's that slide again. So it's that extracellular matrix targeting formula. So we've got the amino acids relevant for collagen, elastin, the fibroblasts, and then we have our hyaluronic acid. So the variation in weights of hyaluronic acid, again, it's important to select the right one in order to get the best results for the patient as well. And that will come with experience. And obviously, if you've not done your advanced training or you need to come back and you feel like you need a little bit more support, I, for one, and I know the other trainers are always wanting to hear from you guys at how you're doing. Anyone that's trained with me, I look forward to your first few case studies when you're sending me pictures over, so I can see and assess your decision in your treatment plan. And that's not, you know, it's not me looking at if you're doing things right. Let's have a conversation about it and think, how are we going to utilize this product in the best way, or these products in the best way. S is for science. So the science behind this product is phenomenal. So the guys who created it, Prof Diuretics, they are based over in Italy, and Annette still hasn't been, but she will. And it kind of came about from utilizing other products in medicine. And the science behind it is phenomenal. So if we can get on board with it, we can get our client on board with it and really get them to think and understand just how it's going to help innovate their skin and the reason their skin has got to where it has in the first place. We can do that by educating our client to the science of the skin. We know this, but collagen in human skin, what is it? What's going on with it? Predominantly type 1. Type 3 is found deeper. And we know that obviously SuneKOS is going to help boost all the types of collagen that we have within our skin. Triple helix formula, structure of collagen, and it arises from 3 amino acids, as you can see there. And that's hence the special ingredients within SuneKOS. What we know about collagen is it's extremely strengthy, very, very strong. And obviously when we can improve collagen production and have better collagen and more collagen from something that we can offer our patient, then we know that that's going to help improve the skin texture and tone generally as they age as well. Elastin is key within the extracellular matrix, which we've talked about this evening as well. roughly 1,000 times more flexible than collagen. So elastin is the big one for me. When I was doing, filler for some time, and I was getting good results, but the predominant concern was the tone of the skin. And even though I'd got some fantastic results with filler, they still came back a few months later with complaints about the skin tone, and it just wasn't bouncing back. And that's where this product comes in. So when a client comes in for a case study and or treatment, I'll always talk through, I hate to be like a gold, silver and a bronze package, because it is, sometimes it is dependent on a client's budget. But the vast majority of the time, those clients that come in, you give them the mirror, like I talked about in one of the first slides, and they point here, 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 and here, and here. Where do we start with them? My advice would be to start with something like a skin booster, because you're going to get a result everywhere. Whereas if you focus a product, on the cheeks, even though we still get phenomenal results with cheek fillers and things like that, I'm not doubting that for a second. But with skin, they're going to see a result all over as well. But it's important that we manage expectations, of course. Fibroblasts, so here we are. These are the little juicy boys that go around making collagen and elastin for us as well. So these are the important ones that we need to feed with our fibroblast fuel, which is within SuneKOS. And this is, in my opinion, the scientific game changer. So understanding the science, again, talk about that fish tank analogy, the fish that we need to feed, the collagen, the elastin, how we're going to feed them as well. We're going to do that with the amino acid complex that we have within SuneKOS. So I want you to kind of think about now what treatments you currently offer with collagen and elastin therapeutic effects. And can you use them with SuneKOS? Well, yes, of course you can. My opinion would be get the fuel in there first. So tank it up, fill up that skin, that dermis, that extracellular matrix, so it's functioning to the best of its ability. And then any other therapeutic options that you offer after that are always going to be optimized. I've found it from my own clients. I found it on my own skin, and the results are always going to be so much better. Again, if clients have a budget, I'm not naive to the fact that, sometimes a client will come in with that in mind, and that is what can sometimes denote our decision. So I'm not naive to that, but what other treatments do you think you have within your portfolio that you can actually utilize alongside? So I've got some case studies going on at the minute. So they've had a full course of SuneKOS. They've had the 12 and the 2 because that's what they needed from assessment. And we are then 4 weeks after the last treatment doing some of the collagen therapy as well, and looking at that compared to those that haven't had it and the results. Even though each person is different and individual, if we are utilizing other things that we offer, the likes of radio frequency, electroporation, microneedling, these are things that I'm talking about, and obviously regular peeling as well. This sort of approach, in my opinion, is to optimize the future of skin aging and skin health, and that's what I'm finding with my clients. I'm integrating the options for them to accumulate more collagen, more elastin, keep the juices flowing, so to speak. So we've put everything in there, get it doing what it does, and then we're just keeping it on its toes all the time. We're educating our client, we're making sure they're wearing the SPF, they've made their lifestyle changes, things are different, and we are constantly proliferating and improving the collagen, the elastin production. But it starts with the foundations, and it starts with getting everything in there first. So creating that mixture underneath the skin. These are just a couple of cases that I've done over the last few weeks. This lady, that was at the end of a full course. So she had the 1200, the 200. You can just see the difference. She was blown away. She was a picture that I put on the Skin Experts group. You probably saw it. I did the half and half. And that was obviously on the same session. And we know we're going to lose some of the swelling from that as well, of course. But this speaks for itself in terms of the results here. This lady, she messaged me recently actually, because she'd had her 3rd session with me and someone had noticed that her cheeks were bigger. It made her a little bit paranoid, that she, that it was starting to look false and fake. I reassured her, encouraged her to kind of go for that full course of the treatment. But obviously it's her decision if she did or didn't do that. Do we always need to do a course of 4 with SuneKOS? This is a question I get asked a lot. it depends on clients' budget, it depends on their expectations, and of course it depends on their results. What you usually find is weeks 2 and 3, the client will come back and say, I can really notice a difference now. Weeks 1 and 2, not so much, unless using the 1200, but weeks 2 and 3, they will really start to notice the difference. What we know from the studies and the evidence that we have is 4 sessions will last us 6 to 9 months. So around about the 6-9 month mark, we will still see a new junior fibroblast being produced, but that's after the full course of 4. So can you still get results from the course of 1 or 2? Yes, you can, but are they going to be optimized for the next 6 months? We can't guarantee that. So that's why you can create it as an option for clients. You know, I have some clients that dip in and out of SuneKOS, even though they know the science behind it, they understand how it works, but they just love how their skin feels for the 10, 14, 21, 3, 4, 5 weeks after even just 1 injection point. It feels different to them. But again, we have our protocols and things that we guide, you know, to make sure that we're managing expectations and keeping the results optimized. So these guys also have some other amazing products. So SuneKOS, I'm taking that at the moment, and I've noticed a huge difference with my skin, my nails as well. My hair, it's not all mine, I wish it was. So I can't sit and say that. But when I did go to the hairdresser, she did say that my hair is becoming thicker underneath the extension. So there we go. So SuneKOS 1200, 200 we've learned about. The peel is an amazing attribute to, you know, to the product. Do I peel every time I inject? Not always. I look at the skin in front of me. Yes, on the protocol, we say to do it. We always look at what's in front of us, look at the canvas in front of us and what needs to be applied to that. But the peel is fantastic for melasma. I've utilized it on acne and general skin brightening as well. It is a 60% glycolic, and we can apply it to the skin pre-injectable as well. So we have a 3-prong attack from this spectrum of products here as well. So that could be your optimized option. And again, when we do the business of SuneKOS, I'll talk you through my packages and what I have and how I offer it. I offer annual packages. I have bi-monthly packages. I have lots of things that I offer out to my clients in different ways to help them, you know, make a decision and utilize. As we know, aging is a naturally occurring process, and it's extremely important we get our client to understand the intrinsic and the extrinsic causes of aging. Is there anything that they are doing that they can improve and or not do that is going to help our results? Home care is so important, and not to be, you know, if a client is investing a large amount of money on an injectable or a process of injectables, it would be nonsense to get them doing that without the preventative measures and home care in place. That is my opinion. The guys over at SuneKOS and SuneKOS do have their own skincare range. So if you've got someone that doesn't want to kind of go all in with that you know, in-depth medical grade options that we know utilize and we can get amazing results with on its own, but we can utilize the SuneKOS range as well. It's the same amino acid complex formula that we're applying on the skin, as is the SuneKOS drinkable, as is the injectable. So you've got that 3-prong attack. But really important we get our client to understand intrinsic and extrinsic aging, like I said in the second part of this. And prevention is key. So we hone this in from the start, you know, not just on sunny days like we've had today, but just generally every single day. Make sure that, look, the reason we are here, the reason you're having to invest in money because of your skin and the aging process, it's naturally happening, yes, but this is speeding it up. The damage to your skin that's being done from not protecting it and not, you know, it's kind of almost like, and I refer to it